As a senior international correspondent at CBN News, I've had the opportunity to encounter people from all over the world and right here in America. And many have shared their stories with me. Some of them came to America with nothing, but most have worked hard pursuing the American dream. And Jimmy O Young was born and raised in Hong Kong, China. He came to America at a young age, and against all odds, he disappointed his Chinese parents by becoming a comedian and cast member of a popular HBO show. He's just written a new book called How to American. Jimmy, thanks so much for being with us today. So how long have you been a comedian, and what did your parents expect you to be?
I've been a comedian for about 10 years now, and now an actor also. And my parents wanted me to go into finance, be a lawyer, something like a real job. And obviously, I failed to do that. I did graduate school with an economics degree, but I guess I never amounted to anything.
You've been living in America for many years. So what things did you choose as the great resources to prepare you for your jokes?
I think a lot of it comes from my parents. Comedy comes from truth, and somewhat it's therapeutic. So when my parents are disappointed and they're sending me, careerbuilder.com emails every day, and my dad is like, Jimmy, you're not that funny. Real people is hiring. And that's kind of what's funny to me. And also just experience growing up, like my first day in America. Didn't even understand what the simplest slangs meant, like what's up. They didn't teach me what's up in Hong Kong, so I just looked up in the sky and I wasn't sure what was going on. So,
what do you think of our current president?
I think the way I wrote the book, it's because there's so much going on, discussions with immigration, and we're making it really into like a, split issue with bipartisan and a political issue. And the reason I want to write the book is to kind of humanize it, right? Without kind of choosing a side and arguing with the other side. I want to just share my point of view from a first-person point of view and educate these people, anyone, really maybe that hasn't had a lot of experiences around immigrants, and seeing our journey, seeing my story, hopefully that will give them a more informed opinion on what it's like to be an immigrant.
Are we a little too serious?
I do. I do think everybody take things a little too seriously, and there's always a fine line before you say something that offends someone, which is hard for comedians now, because we're used to being the one that says and points out everything. So I think it's important to always be humorous, be entertaining outside of this, to give people, if anything, a distraction and an escape.
There's still many great things about America, wouldn't you agree? Share some with us.
Absolutely. I mean, this is still one of the most tolerant countries when it comes to ethnicities, one of the most understanding countries. When I went to Italy, I studied abroad there, I just walked by the street vendors, and everybody would just scream out different, Asian greetings to get my attention, like konnichiwa, kamsahamnida, ni hao. And I'm like, sir, how are you doing? Like, I'm speaking perfect English to them, and they'll still repeat themselves, like, oh, konnichiwa. I'm like, I'm not even Japanese, man. And they don't get it. They're not as politically correct as we are. At least, maybe some people aren't here, but at least we try. At least there's an awareness. And also, really, at the end of the day, this is still where the American dream come true, where it's a country where I could be an immigrant that became a comedian that's on television now. I don't think I could do that in any other country.
And Jimmy, what do you want people to get from your book?
Well, I want to be relatable, to people that has immigrants that's going through the assimilation process or has went through this assimilation process, or for anyone that grew up maybe with difficult parents that did something that against their parents' will to be who they are now. And also, I want people to just form an honest opinion by seeing my honest story of a first-person point of view of an immigrant journey in a humorous way, in a fun read. I'm not trying to force anything down your throat, but hopefully, through this fun, funny story, that people will be more understanding of what it feels like to be an immigrant assimilating into America.
Well, we sure could use some fun reads of late. Jimmy O Young, author of a new book called How to American, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.